Hey, you guys. So I just wanted to start by saying that this can be the same way that God will show you that a woman is not your wife. I'll just be using husband because it's from my perspective. First of all, chosen ones will have a high volume of people that are attracted to us because we have God's light working through us and we are set apart. But that does not mean that everybody deserves access to us. We will literally have to stiff arm some people out of our lives because they believe that they deserve access to our lives. But if their spirit is not right, they will attack us unintentionally or intentionally. So we have to test their spirits, whether they are a good person or a bad person, a believer, a non believer, whether they are attractive or unattractive. For example, there was an attractive older man at the shelter that I'm going to call attractive, not to be cocky, but all the men at the shelter are attracted to me. But attractive is the only one that I would give a chance in real life because he has a kind heart. Attractive would do anything for anybody in the shelter, no matter who they were or what they look like. But when it came to the other workers at the shelter, they only did transactional favors, especially if you were attractive. And if you didn't show interest, the favors stopped there, even if it was a part of their job description. So there was one day that attractive did a flirty gesture towards me. That was nice, so I picked it up. But I had had some drinks that night, so I immediately after that went to the dorms and laid down and did that one prayer to God, saying, God, if this is not my kingdom husband, not my kingdom spouse, let me know and take him away from me. So I still did the most that night by listening to relationship music and just going to sleep with that relationship music. But the next day is when a whole lot went down. So do y'all remember that P-Toot from this video that I told you guys about that I named Skin Tight? So there was one night where P2, or there was one night that Skin Tight had gotten into it with Attractive. And so we were all in the dorm area because it was bedtime. So all we really knew was that Skin Tight got into it with Attractive. So she got kicked out. And there was another security officer that had got fired the same night. So the next time that I seen Attractive, he was very distant with me until the nighttime when he was the only security officer in a certain area. So he called me over later that night to talk to him. And when I got over there, he basically told me in code that he wanted to talk to me, but in a way that we both wouldn't get in trouble. But I had already taken out my contacts. I was being a bit distant, and the energy was just off. So after that night, he was off for like multiple days, and then rumors started coming out saying that he was fired and talking about the reason why he really got into it with Skin Tight. The rumors were that he got into it with Skin Tight because she got mad for whatever reason. So she started calling out all the security officers, saying that they all wanted to have sexual relations with her, and saying that the one security officer that got fired, she said that he was revealing himself in text messages, and she had evidence of that. That's why he got fired. And then when it came to Attractive, she said that he was allowing her to reveal herself to him in public and that he was doing the same to her, but there was no evidence. That's why Attractive didn't get fired. Till this day, I have no idea if those rumors are true or not. I just know for a fact that was God telling me that that is not my husband. Then he came back. It was crazy when he came back. I was so surprised. I was like, oh my gosh, he's here. So he didn't get fired. And when he came back, he attempted to apply like hard pressure to me. But I had already came to the point. I was like, God, you already said this is not my husband. So I'm kind of done with the entire situation. So in the midst of him, one of the times applying pressure hard to me, his boss walks up, and it was even more unattractive to see how he reacted after his boss showed up. He reacted as if he was guilty and he knew he was doing something that he shouldn't have been doing. And it was like sad to see him basically go into a form of like sucking up just to not get in trouble by his boss. Honestly, I was able to see and get confirmation that he has no self-control when it comes to women. I understand that I'm attractive and a lot of people don't really see many women like me, but having a certain level of self-control when it comes to lust, when it comes to your desires, it's very important to me when I look at my husband and when I look at somebody that's on their narrow path with God. The more confirmation that I received was one night we were doing laundry and he was the security officer that was doing laundry. There was this young lady that came back to the shelter. She had gotten kicked out of the shelter for her terrible attitude and came back with the same terrible attitude. But a lot of people allow her to get away with the terrible attitude because they say that she's like not all the way there. I've had my own personal problems with her trying to purposely like elbow me. I didn't seen her elbow people purposely. Somehow she knows attractive. and she was doing laundry that night as well. And for some reason, they get into it in front of the laundry room. And y'all, I'm talking about they're getting into it so bad, yelling at each other so loud that they're in each other's faces, looking like they're about to square up in front of the laundry door. And I'm just like, what the heck? And then so as the argument goes on, it looks like there is sexual frustration there. And I'm just like, what the heck is really going on? This is so weird. And then so as it continues to go on, she finds it cute or whatever, and then she starts talking, and as she's arguing with him, she's telling him, you better shut up. I really know who you are outside of here. You better act right. I know who the real you is. And so after she says that, he starts allowing her to do whatever she wants to do. Weird. God honestly gave me all the confirmation I needed to know this wasn't my kingdom spouse. I was able to see a deeply rooted anger spirit, lust spirit, fornication spirit, and also adultery spirit on him. So from then on, I just did my best to keep my distance. I'm not gonna lie though, he didn't lose his job and he kept pursuing me no matter what wall I put up. So I did catch myself flirting from time to time. So I made sure to do things that kept me in a wise mindset, like not listening to lustful music, especially when I was in that kind of mood, or not allowing myself to have any type of thoughts that involved any type of relationship with this man. Like I would have certain thoughts where I'd be like, oh, that's my man for right now, or that's my man. And I had to like completely rebuke those thoughts off of me, because that thinking like that will think things into existence for yourself. I basically did whatever it took for me personally, big and small, to keep myself at a fairy tale land. When you're in the process of testing spirits, it's important for you to go into that process with a hardened heart. Because if you don't, and you go into that process being too open with just anybody, you can receive heartbreak from that situation. And that heartbreak can lead you into sin to get over that heartbreak. So God saw that I was still being attracted to attractive. I was even pushing this video back, feeling guilty about it. In order to get it through my head that that is not my husband, he sent a couple of attractive women to basically show me who this man really is. The first attractive woman he sent was the frenemy, the Jezebel, that I'm going to be talking about in the next video. Can't wait to tell you guys that story. So in the process of me still testing her spirit, seeing if I'm going to be her friend, she ends up having to come to the same shelter as me. And I'm able to see the way he acts with the other girl, like the way that he kind of was like testing it, the way he was looking when she was coming in, seeing if he was going to be able to play the field and be able to have a certain type of relationship with her and me. So I was already able to see that. Then, when that wasn't enough, God sent an attractive security officer to come work at the job. And it's crazy because the first day that this lady came and worked at the job, attractive just started acting like I just no longer existed. And I could already feel what it was. It was basically, y'all are both very attractive, but this woman has a job type situation and she's normal in a worldly type thinking mindset, and she's attractive. So uh, I'm probably gonna try with both of y'all, but in a normal setting, I'm gonna do more with her because this will be more accepted in the world. And basically allowing me to see too that he would not understand my situation. I 100% believe that if God sent me my husband right now while I'm going through all this with the shelter and everything, my husband will completely understand, because he's going to be a God-fearing man that understands the narrow path, understands what I'm going through, understands why I can't just work any normal job, understands all of that. And I was able to see even more that attractive ain't gonna understand nothing like that. That's just a ladies' man. That's just looking for anybody to be attracted to him. He's for everybody. And when I discovered the reality of the situation, y'all, I almost got upset. I ain't gonna lie. I really almost got upset. And then so God immediately got in my ear like, you've been looking for a way out of the situation. You've been dealing with all these men up here flirting with you, and you're just like tiptoeing around, trying to jump around, get them to do things that they're supposed to be doing for you without making them upset because you're not showing interest and things like that. You've been trying to get out of these situations and be in the shelter and mind your business and do what you're supposed to do for me, and be working for me in peace. This is your way out. This woman is a blessing for you. And I know the reality of the situation, the way that people think so worldly, is upsetting, but this is a blessing for you. Take it and allow it to happen so you can go do what you're supposed to do in peace. So it was like a bittersweet experience, and I'm just so happy to see the way that God worked, the way he be working, y'all. Like, he really will let you know what's up. Ask and you will receive. Period. But yeah, y'all. That next video I'm about to make. So in this video, the devil sent those 4 people, those counterfeits, to try to get me off track. And I noticed that when that didn't work, he sent this destiny swapper and this Jezebel to basically try to get me tied up. I'm noticing the devil's really trying to tie me up with some kind of relationship again. I noticed that's something that he really be trying with me, trying to tie me up in counterfeit frenemy type of relationships. But I be just with that sort of truth and testing them spirits, and they be out of there. So I got 2 to tell y'all about, the Jezebel and the Destiny Swapper, and that will be my next video. But thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.